All right, and we are back for another episode of Does It Hold Up, the series where I revisit the anime that I first saw in the exact order that I saw them to sort of determine if they still hold up to if they're still worthy of recommending to anime newcomers today, or if maybe I had shit taste and whenever I insult current series, I'm full of myself because I watch the same shit when I first started watching anime. We are currently on episode 11, I believe. Last week was Kill la Kill. That was the first anime that I saw as it was airing. It was really cool. Like I really enjoyed like going to the forums like after every episode and be like, I think this is gonna happen, or like this was my favorite part of this and all kind of stuff. And it was just like I remember the hype of Kill la Kill when it first came out. Like people were like, oh, anime of the year, anime of the year, anime of the year. And then man, it's like you wouldn't expect something to be so power crept so early on. But I remember almost immediately, or it felt like almost immediately, this anime came out. And this anime, I have a very, very cringe, interesting history with. This is okay, so by this time, I was just like full on weeb. I was full on excited about anime. I wanted so badly to have an anime friend because none of my friends loved anime, or even now, none of my friends like anime. But like, I just wanted someone to talk to, and so when this anime came out, I remember for my English class, I we had a project where we were supposed to like just like it was sort of like prepping us for public speaking in a college and all that kind of stuff. And so for this anime, I decided to base my presentation on Attack on Titan. Yes, 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 yes. I was the nerdy kid in school who came up, and because I did this immediately after episode one, because like this immediately after episode one, like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do my project on this. I made a PowerPoint, I made all this kind of shit. I was just like, why anime is so cool, and then why people should watch anime, and then why Attack on Titan was like 60% of my my project, even though only one episode had come out. I remember I made everyone watch the opening and all that kind of stuff, and I was just like, oh boy. And it's so funny because like I was so hyped on it. I was just like, this is gonna be the great, I've never seen anything like this. This is gonna be the coolest thing ever. And then episode 2 happened, and then episode 3 happened, and then episode 4 and episode 5 and episode 6, and I'm just like, oh, talk about shit in the bed. Like, oh my god, I've never in my life seen a series just immediately plummet. Oh, like that's my history with it. Where like I was so hyped in the beginning, and then I was just like, this sucks ass. What happened? Like, it just kind of just like meandered and just became like atrocious writing. It was like stalling. It was pointless. It was like, can we get to like the point? And like it's like, yes, oh, I'm gonna kill all the Titans. I hate all the Titans. And Mikasa with her, I love Eren. I'm gonna marry Eren. Why? I don't know. I have no personality. I just want to bang Eren. And it's just like, yes, there was Annie, and Annie, fucking Annie, dude, Annie. Annie was the coolest part of season one. Not just from like the bits and pieces that we saw of her, like when it was like at its mundane in season one, like when the series was like at its shit. She brought that season back, bro. The female Titan arc like brought everyone back. Everyone was just like, all right, now that's what I'm fucking talking about, dude. I don't get like I don't give a fuck about Eren. I don't give a fuck about Mikasa. I don't give a fuck about anybody like Annie. And so yeah, so that's kind of like so my history with Attack on Titan absolutely was cringe obsessed with episode 1 to the point where I used it as my fucking project at school. And then immediately like it came down. Like, yes, I still enjoyed seeing the bits with Annie, but like I was just kind of just like I was like, oh, this fucking sucks. What the fuck happened? Like, what the hell happened? Like, what? How? And then the female Titan arc happened, and then I was just like, oh wow, this is really cool. But I mean, because of how like bad everything other than Annie was in episode 1 in season 1, I didn't tune in for season 2 or 3. Like, yeah, I came back for like the Titan reveal of the Colossal and the Armored Titan and all that kind of stuff, but essentially I kind of knew what kind of show this would be. But at the same time, I still really, really so much enjoyed how much people were loving the series. Yes, I hated it, but I never went out of my way to bash it. Even back then, when I was like full weeb, like I still never went out of my way to bash it. I just remember everyone everything anime related, they would dress up in like the scouts uniform, the recon, all that kind of stuff, and it was just so cool. You would see all these cool videos, like all this stuff, and it was just like that's kind of what I was expecting when I came into the anime community in the beginning. And like it's cool to see that Attack on Titan sort of brought that full on, because like suffice to say that like the first series before Attack on Titan that I saw, they never really had that sort of like hardcore fan base. This was the first one that like had like this was the first one that became like mainstream, you know? And I know that sometimes carries a negative connotation, but I mean, it was so cool to see this anime sort of like sweep the world, dude. This, like, everyone knew what this was. Everyone still knows what this was. I don't know how the series ends. Honestly, like, I don't really care how the series ends, just because, like, I mean, I tuned every now and then. I would like go back, okay, so what's currently happening, and then it's like, oh, this happened. Okay. It's just like, yes, okay, I am not a fan of Attack on Titan, but that doesn't mean that I think nobody should like it. That doesn't mean that I go out of my way to bash on the series. I've never really been that kind of person. Like, I don't really, what purpose, what joy does someone get to like hop online and then just like search a series that they hate and just hate on everybody, comment? That's the sad person for sure. Like, maybe in this video, because this is like my channel, this is like, yeah, I don't, so the bits I remember about episode 1 are an opening scene that I don't think any important character came out in. I do remember what, for justice or for humanity. That's what, yeah, I remember that scene. And then the opening scene, and then Eren, and then I thought Armin was a girl. Like, I was just like, oh, that, I'm pretty sure that's a girl pretending to be, you know, I don't judge that kind of stuff. Like, it happens. So what? Move on. It happens. But yeah. So I'm really, and the ending scene. I think the ending scene is so iconic, bro. I think everyone knows how episode 1 ends. I'm curious to see if I still get as hyped as I did the first time I saw it. Because again, I've only seen season 1 one time through, just because I felt so like betrayed by the plummet in quality, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm really curious to see, like, it's been a while. It's been a long time. I hear I mean, it's hard. It's like, you see all the time people like, oh, everyone should tune back in, like the quality came back up. And then in the past, I've given second chances to that kind of stuff, and it never pans out. It's more so, it's the same kind of thing, you know. So whenever I read, I guess I think by this point the anime series has ended. But like there was a point in the manga as it was releasing that people were like, "Hey, like wow, I used to hate Attack on Titan, but then this happened, and now I'm just like, wow, Aaron's the best character ever," and it's just like it's kind of hard for me to believe that kind of stuff just because in the past with other series it never really happens. It's more so the same kind of stuff, the same edge lord sort of stuff. So, again, I don't know what happens, so don't take my opinion as me as like gospel because who am I to judge the rest of the series? I've not seen the rest of the series past like the few episodes, so don't take my opinion. This is just my opinion. Um, but yeah, without further ado, let us continue. Does it hold up? This is gonna be Attack on Titan. Let's go. One, to you, 2,000 years into the future, the fall of Ziggurat, or something like that. Oh, bro, that is so iconic, man. Like, how can you not get hyped? Like, it something like that has never been done before, dude. Like, definite kudos to the creator of Attack on Titan for thinking of something like that, because that is so brilliant. He's just like peeking up nonchalantly and came out here. Never mind. I was wrong. There's a sergeant guy um makes them all run to rocks. Irwin. I hope it's Irwin. I don't really remember the name, man. I always hated like I remember even like when I was getting into this, I was like, yeah, that looks cool, but that makes zero sense. The 3D maneuvering here. I'm pretty sure their spines would break. Like immediately, their spines would break. Pieces of Mikasa, even going into the finale of the series, if that it was, because I guess Attack on Titan has a habit of like, oh, the final chapter, the final chapter, the final chapter. So if I got the final chapter correctly, if I followed Mikasa's bits and pieces correctly, she never became an interesting character, and that's sort of like I'm just like, oh man, that's kind of disappointing, really. Because like from the beginning, I never considered her an interesting character, but I thought at some point she would become one. But evidently that never happened. She stayed the same throughout. Hey, everyone's favorite drunk uncle. Every time they go out there, they probably have it in the back of their mind. There's a 90% chance I'm not gonna come back. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of them were just like drunks waiting for their time to come, Oh, and then they are gambling. It's like one of those things where like I know the series here is because of how it's framed. Actually, this is kind of interesting framing. They're in the sunlight, and then Eren and Mikasa are in the dark. Actually, that is kind of interesting. Maybe it's not trying to make them seem like bad people. Maybe it's trying to seem or make Eren and them look ignorant as all hell. All right. All right, this kind of improves my opinion of episode 1, which I already thought very highly of. Like like the people who are just there living their like mundane lives are judging the people that are going out there and like literally risking their lives every fucking day just because they come home and then enjoy a drink and gamble a bit. At the end of the day, they're gonna go back out there when their time comes, and they're gonna like fight when the time comes, right? Meanwhile, they're just enjoying their lives, I mean, literally, yeah. Why does this guy seem so shocked? What? Why do you seem so surprised? I'm sure this has come up plenty of times before if humanity has been trapped in these walls for this long. Anime, because I tuned out of the anime at this point, but apparently Mikasa comes from some super secret OP bloodline, and that's why she's so strong. Which I don't know how it plays on, or like I don't know if it actually fits well with the world building of the series because apparently, spoiler alert for the Titans, I guess, from my understanding, I guess the Titans were made by witches as a curse to humanity. How is she still moving? Her nervous system should be fucked beyond repair. She should be dead. I think she said something like, "I can't move my legs." Girl, you should be dead. What? Your organs cannot feed your brain blood any longer. Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, my legs. They were the only thing damaged once this house cut off my entire lower body. Oh, bro, yeah. Hmm. Like, I don't understand. Well, I mean, I guess this guy who has seen plenty of Titans has never seen a Titan that looks like him, so yeah. I wish they could have made that clearer in this episode, though, because it kind of just sort of portrayed it as Hans being a pussy, but probably, like, Hans has seen, like, hella Titans throughout his lifetime, and he has never seen anything that looked. All right, and that was Attack on Titan, and I just realized that my camera moved during the episode viewing. But yeah, I mean, there's not really anything I can say to it. We all know what happens after this. You guys know how it ends. I don't know how it ends. But I kept up with it throughout season one, and it's just like, yeah, I fell off of it almost immediately after this episode. Despite how much I loved episode one, oh man, so, like I'm still remembering the faces of like the people in my class when I was presenting my project on Attack on Titan. Oh, but yeah. Um, I mean, if I doubt anyone had any concerns, but yes, per tradition, I have to actually drop a verdict, whether or not if it holds up to standards today. And yes, yes, yes. As much as I don't like what happens after episode one, um, Attack on Titan does hold up. I think it, like I said, it's one of those like iconic generational animes. Like it changed the game. It really did. As much as I hate what happens, as much as I complain about some of the characters, pretty much all the characters, um, it did what nothing did before it as far as like anime comes, right? And you can't really take away from that. So yes, you will always be able to recommend the series. You will always be able to like if you enjoy the series, nothing's ever gonna change your mind, you know? Um, so it's always gonna hold up, man. This is like one of those classics, as much as it hurts for me to say. This will always be a classic. This will always be recommendable. This will always hold up. This is one of the animes. This is anime. you know. So yes, for this episode, it does still hold up. Attack on Titan, it does hold up. Nothing else for me to say. Like I said, I kind of tuned out of it immediately after episode one. So I can't really give any more context than I loved Annie, and that's about it. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode of Does It Hold Up? Please like and subscribe for more reactions. I also react to other anime series, movies, shows that I'm watching. If that's not a thing, I stream regularly on Twitch at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you need some background noise while I do chores, homework, all that kind of stuff, I'm very good at talking to myself. But if this is all you see me, my name's Adam. Thanks for checking out Jupiter Machine. And as always, steal credit cards, hurt your loved ones, plant some flowers. Until next time, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. So far.